It's time for the final order cutoff books of interest for May 6th, 2024. If you want to find out what I think you should be looking at, stick around. Welcome back, family. We're here for the final order cutoff books of interest for May 6th, 2024. We're going to try to get to this list before the buzz absolutely hits me. Yes, it is Friday night that I'm recording this. You're seeing this on Saturday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. Try to give you as much time as possible to review this list and order what you want. I try to pick out books of interest. What do I mean by that? Any number one that I could see, I throw up there on the list. Anything that's a number two. So if you read number one and you liked it, this is your reminder to buy number two. If I know of any first appearances, this is where you would I would try to put this on the list. And anything that I see that is a cool cover art. This list has a couple this week. I try to put that up on the list as well. If you know of any books that I've missed, whether it's number one's first appearance, anything, please throw it down in the comments because it's not just benefiting me; it's benefiting anybody else who watches the show and reads the comments. You might, predict that next Beneath the Trees book and make yourself famous. You never know. Get those comments down below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe because those help the channel. This is Team Ohana. I'm your host, Rich, and here we go. Coming in at number one, first book on this list, we have Drawing Blood number 2. So if you liked number 1, and this is the Eastman cover, there are other covers as well, then make sure that you pick up number 2. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I have a Drawing Blood number 1 on as one of the giveaway potentials for New Comic Book Day. If you haven't seen that, make sure that you follow the link at the end of this video. I'm going to make sure that I link it so you can get in for the chance for the drawing for free comics that I give away every single New Comic Book Day on Wednesdays, in case you didn't know what New Comic Book Day was. So Drawing Blood number 2 of 12 is a 12-part series. If you like number 1, here's your reminder for number 2. Also from Image Comics, we have Grommets number 1 of a 7-part series. So if this looks like you might want to look into this, see if this is something that you're interested in. Before we jump into the next book, well, no, let's just go ahead and just check real quick. Yes, we have Universal Monsters Black Lagoon number 2 of 4. If you like number 1, and judging from the fact that it's sold out in a lot of different stores, I think you did, this is your opportunity to order number 2. Now, before we get into the DC books, let me pull up the list here of Image Comics because there's something here that I would have just overloaded my tabs for. You know how they have Image Firsts, which is a very low price reprint of a first issue. So if you never had a chance to read them, they reprint the comics. And I appreciate this personally. This is how I got introduced to, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank, Saga. Somebody at Vision Comics in Rockmart, Georgia, they gave me a copy of the Image First number 1 Saga, and I read that, and I wound up binge reading every single issue, and I'm excited about the fact that we're hearing rumors about the next installments. So Image, from time to time, they do, it's called Image First, very low cost reprints of books that you never had a chance to read. I'm assuming that they're still $1. They used to be. Like I said, really, really cheap. And it gives you the opportunity to pick up a book that maybe is out of your price range now, like Beneath the Trees or whatnot, and have an actual physical copy to read. It's cool to read digitally, but it's so much more fun to read with a piece of, with the comic book in your hands. Well, they are releasing a boatload. Now, I will preface this by saying that every one of these, it says bundles of 20 and PI, which means please inquire. You have to contact whoever it is that you're hooked up with your final order cutoff. If you don't mind 20 copies, go for it. But just check with your store to say, hey, are you ordering these books? Because I'd love to grab a copy. And again, they're dropping a boatload here. I'm gonna just read through them real quick. If any of these titles are ones that you wanted to read, you missed, and you never had a chance, here's a reprint version of it. Adventure Man #1, uh, Birthright, Criminal, Curse Words, Death or Glory, Department of Truth, Descender, Firepower, Geiger #1, Gideon Falls, Hack Slash #1, uh, I Hate Fairyland, or the other title. I don't think they're gonna have that. Ice Cream Man #1, they're gonna have it here. Philadelphia, they got Middle West, First Monstrous, Neo War, not Neo Noir, sorry, Paper Girls. Which, by the way, you could probably pick that one up first print pretty cheap now. Scumbag, Sex Criminals, Spawn #1 is in here, Stray Dogs is in here, World Tree is in here, Walking Dead #1 is in here. They have loaded the list of Image First this week for you guys. So again, they say please inquire. You can't just click on order because you're going to get wind up with a bundle of 20, and I think they were $1 a piece. I might be able to zoom in on the picture of one of these and see if it says it. But yeah, no. Yeah. Well, isn't that a big picture? You can read it very, very clearly. Jeez. Offered at an introductory price of 50 cents per price. The price is part of the Image First program, but it says $1 on here. I think 50 cents is how much it costs the store, because usually, like, if you're buying a book that costs $5, it costs the store $2.50. If you're buying a book that costs $7, it costs the store $3.50. They pay half of what you pay. It's not. It's they're not retiring to Maui on the amount of money they make in a comic book store. Believe me, it's a lot more of love than anything else. So if they sell 100 comics, or let's just say they sell 500 comics on New Comic Book Day, they might once a week on their big day take in $1,000 in profit. Which, when you factor in the cost of hiring employees, insurance, lights, heat, rent, everything else, it's not leaving them with that much. It's not as much as you think. Owning a comic book store is more a labor of love than anything else. But if you wanted to get a chance to get some of these books that you wanted, that you've never had a chance to own in your life, this is it for you. So, well, it's not your last chance. I'm just saying this is a great opportunity. Make a list of the books that you want. Contact your store and say, hey, look, I don't know if you're ordering these or not, but if you're getting your bundle of 20, I want this, 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 and this. Okay? And if not, you're going to find them really cheap online. So let's close that tab because I don't need that one there. Let's get into the main list, shall we? So we've already done the Creature of the Universal Monsters. We're jumping into DC. So we have the DC Pride Celebration of Rachel Pollack #1. And I saw this cover and I loved it. Penguin #10 by Carmen D. Giandomenico. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I love that cover, man. That cover is just, that's a great cover for me. So I told you that I would point out covers that I thought were cool. For me, that one's it. We have, jumping into Marvel, we have the Amazing Spider-Man #51, the Disney Eyes version. And of course, Larry, you better be watching this show because this one is like tailor-made for you. We've got the first appearance of Dazzler of X-Men 130's homage. And it says the Sinister Six is back. It's funny because Green Goblin weren't enough. Sinister Six has returned. And we got that, Minnie Mouse's Dazzler on the cover. I have to order that because I like collecting them all, at least one copy for myself. The Blood Hunt Red Band, #3, 25 copy incentive ratio. Now, you're not going to get it for $5.99 if you order it. But I love the fact they are homaging the pre-code horror, Tales from the Crypt, and, those kind of books. I like this cover. I think it does really, really well. And this is the sort of cover I think should be a distress cover. But we've got Blade, Dracula, and Doctor Strange there in the circles. I think that's a really cool cover. So if this one hits you, and you want to try to look online about ordering, again, it's a 1 in 25 incentive ratio. So, you're generally going to spend at least ratio. So you're looking at 25 bucks. And you know, I'm not a ratio fan, but this one I like. Next on the list, we've got Get Fury #2. So if you liked #1 and you want to continue reading it, plot thickens as Frank Castle drops into Hanoi on his mission to assassinate Nick Fury. da, da, da. Come on, it's got Fury and Frank Castle. It can't be that bad. And it's written by Garth Ennis. Jeez. So we have Darth Maul, black, white, and red. #1, second printing. And honestly, I like this black and white cover better than the first print. It makes that lightsaber stand out so much more. We've got the Uncle Scrooge Infinity Dime #1. This is the Alex Ross cover A. There's a lot of different artists that have gotten their hands into this one. I know I saw a Peach Momoko. I saw a Frank Miller, and I know I've been hard on Frank Miller lately. In my heart, I love the guy. I always have, but I just think that there's a certain point where you have to acknowledge that your talents aren't what they used to be. This cover that he's done is not that bad, but there's some better ones. There really are. I love the Pastrio Vecchio cover B. That one is just a really, really cool cover. I'm going to have to order that one myself. And the Scotty Young, it's not a typical Scotty Young baby variant. This is a really, really cool cover. You can see the Scotty Young style in it, but it doesn't depict Uncle Scrooge as a baby. Or maybe it just shows him his middle age. So he de-ages everybody about 40 years. So Uncle Scrooge, instead of being 80, is only 40. But I think that's a really good cover, especially for Scotty Young. Well, especially for Scott. You know what I'm saying. We have Wolverine Blood Hunt. So all these different sweet little heroes have been in the Blood Hunts. Wolverine #1 Blood Hunt is in the pack. And here's your typical Scotty Young. And I actually think that's a really cool cover. And it leaves a lot of background for signature / remarks on it. Next on the list, we're moving into General Comics now. Biomex #2 from Black Box Comics. If you liked #1 and you want to continue reading it, this is your reminder to order it. We have the Godzilla Best of Space Godzilla. This is a $7.99 book from IDW, but for all you Godzilla fans, I'm one. This is one of the ones that you don't want to miss. Okay, we also have I might miss this one. We have Godzilla Skate or Die. Let's see what we read here. Australian skater punks versus Varan and the King of the Monsters in this thrilling debut issue by writer-artist Louis Joyce. 4 years ago, I don't know if I can have skateboarders against Godzilla and take it anyway seriously whatsoever. From Fantagraphics Books, we have Hate Revisited #1 of a 4-part series. We also have Immortal Ultraviolet #1 from Keenspot Entertainment. Not crazy about the cover art. I think cover B looked better. Into Unbeing from Part 1 #1 from cover A from Sherman from Dark Horse Comics. We have The Mammoth #1 of 5 from Mad Cave Studios. And I'll be honest, when I first read this, I was expecting it to be a woolly mammoth, but mammoth does mean just large. My Little Pony Maretime Mysteries, not Maritime, but Maretime Mysteries, #1 for all you My Little Pony fans. And also we have My Little Pony Best of Spike #1. So again, for all you My Little Pony fans, you got 2 books to choose from IDW. From Massive / Whatnot, we have Ninja Funk Bad Music #1 of 4. We have Rivers of London Stray Cat Blues #1 of 4 from Titan Comics. Moving on, we have RoboForce #2 from Oni Press. If you like #1, this is your reminder for #2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TMNT Usagi Yojimbo's Saturday Morning Adventures. So this is kind of in the Saturday Morning Adventures vein, but with Usagi Yojimbo involved in it. This is the cover A, and I like it, but I like the cover B so much more that I had to make sure I showed it to you guys. I just think it looks so much better. We have the Valiants from Guess Which Comic? Valiant Comics. #2 of 4. If you like #1, you want to continue reading, there's your reminder. Okay, so we're going to get into a couple of collectibles here that I thought were interesting. We have the Batman limited edition 85th anniversary collectible coin from Fanatic. Um, $29.99. Make sure you're aware of that. But I know there's a lot of people out there that are coin collectors and that are Batman fans. So you might want to take a look at it and see if it's something that interests you. We also, there's a lot of different coins. If you look in the category after comics, the Gremlins one from Fanatic I thought was kind of interesting. Let's see if I can pull up the picture. If it lets me. There we go. There's Stripe on one side. And there's Gizmo on the other. So it's a heads or tails. Keep them away from bright light. Don't get them wet. And never, ever feed them after midnight. That's cute. So I'm not saying that this is a like solid silver coin or anything else like that, but it does say it's limited to 10,000 worldwide, $99.95. But what's 5 coins amongst friends? And the last thing I had here, okay, this is a 12 by 18 image. Retro Agogo LLC for $20 has a 12 by 18 really nice looking print of Cesar Romero's Joker. And I don't ever get to see Cesar Romero's Joker anywhere. And I like that. I really, really do. So if that's something that is interesting to you, again, 12 by 18, you might as well get yourself a little mini poster of Cesar Romero. And that wraps up our list of the books of interest for... There. Okay. Get me back. Bring me back. Thank you. So that, again, is our books of interest for May 6th, 2024. If the final order cutoff, if there are any books in here that you feel that I've missed, that I've overstated or understated, if there's cover artistry, if there's first appearance, if there's something that I just don't know about, please, I implore you, not just for me, but for every other person that subscribes to the channel and watches these videos, drop it in the comments. And if you don't have anything to add, read those comments so you know if somebody else has. You know, you never know when somebody's going to say, hey, you know what, you completely missed the vote. This is out on final order cutoff also. It's the first appearance of so-and-so. This book is destined for greatness. That's how, you know, people like you and me, we all get into these books and get those investment quality books at cover price. So a year from now, 2 years from now, everybody's like, man, I wish I had bought that. You can look at them and say, you know what? I watched Timo Hana. We knew about it. We bought it. Yeah. You know, because comics isn't about making money. It's about bragging rights. Guys, I want to thank you so much for joining. Don't forget, if you want to subscribe to either here on YouTube or on Patreon / Timo Hana, it'd be greatly appreciated just to help support the channel in purchasing the books that we give away on New Comic Book Day and the cost of shipping. Hopefully someday I'll get to the point where I'm actually break even, but I'm having too much fun with this with you guys, and thank you so much for joining. Like, subscribe, click on those notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. Don't forget to share this with your friends. Let them know to join in. And again, I'm going to make sure that I drop the link. You should already be seeing it, of the link for the New Comic Book Day, so you know where to go to register and get those free books every single week. Until I see you in the next video, though, mahalo.